Yep.
Yes.
Good evening. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. We are in the Brecksville-Broadview Heights High School Media Center, 6380 Mill Road, Broadview Heights, Ohio. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. Public participation is governed by Board Bylaw 0169.1, public participation at board meetings. This meeting will be live streamed via YouTube and will also be recorded for later viewing. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel where all recordings are posted. Item 1B, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 1C, roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Galick,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes.
Jeez.
Item 2, President's announcements. I have none other than happy spring. Hope you enjoy the weather. Item 2B, do any board members wish to remove any items from the consent agenda? No. Okay. Moving on to item 3, board areas of responsibility. Co-curricular, extracurricular, Lisa and Tish.
You want me to go first, or
It's hard to see it.
the feedback? You going first?
Yeah, I just have, because we have our presentation tonight on extracurriculars, so I just have one item that came through today I just wanted to mention. Our district has been named one of the best communities for music education, and that's the 7th consecutive year in a row. This is from Mr. Kachila. This recognition highlights the strong support from the community, local vendors, booster organizations, summer camps, theater groups, professional musicians, students, families, and administration, along with the high-quality music education in and out of the classroom. So congratulations to our music staff and students and department. They do an amazing job. It's very well-deserved.
Absolutely. Want to give a shout out and big congratulations to our academic challenge team. They are going to be competing at the state level this weekend. The competitors are Areeb Chowdhury, James Carson, and Leighton Bell. They are led by Mr. Angeloni here at the high school. Their accomplishments, this is a big deal. They have not been to a state event in 30 years, so it's quite an accomplishment. They won the WEWS event they appeared on this year. They were the highest score of the season for Academic Challenge. They placed second in the Regional Ohio Academic Challenge event, and they qualified for the state tournament. It's at Olentangy, Berlin, and Columbus this weekend, so good luck to them. And then just to note that our spring sports are in full swing. It seems like it's a short season, so get out and see our boys, girls lacrosse teams, track and field, baseball, and softball if you can. That's it.
Okay, curriculum, Tish.
Okay, curriculum, back up again. So following up from last month regarding our March 20th professional development that was provided for staff, it was a very successful day, and they are already eagerly looking forward to planning, any teachers, I know we have some teachers here, eagerly planning the August return to school professional development. That will be determined through the building, teaching and learning, and curriculum teams up through our district teaching and learning committees. There is an agenda item tonight before the board to consider adopting three curriculums, K-5 science, Bring Science Alive curriculum, our Spanish 1, 2, and 3 curriculum, Reporteros, and then AP World History, Ways of the World. We did have board members that did review the curriculum when it was open for its period for anyone in the community to review. So we will be considering that tonight. Testing has started in the district. We've done English language arts testing. It finishes this week. Everything has gone very smoothly. Is math up next, Dr. Martin? So all together consecutively? So math, science, social studies are up next. Okay. We do have an AI committee that's formed. We will be considering, we have a first read of a AI policy tonight on the agenda. We do have an AI committee that's formed with Mr. Scott Kinkoff and Dr. Martin. They have developed a vision statement and have a very forward-thinking approach to AI in the district for our staff and students. You will probably hear more about this as we go on, but I wanted to make the public aware that we do have that and are working forward with AI. And then that's it. I have a short curriculum report tonight. That's it.
Okay, thanks. Cuyahoga Valley Career Center, I reached out to Rachel, and I did not hear back from her, so we're going to pause for that this month, and hopefully she'll join us next month for an update. Finance, myself, we did complete the audit, and I did not read the entire audit report, but I skimmed it, and it appears
Wow, that's sad,
it was like 30 pages long, but
probably.
anyway, it looked excellent from what I saw.
Yeah.
Do you have any commentary on it? Was it what you expected?
It was what I expected, but yeah, we had no verbals, no management letter, no anything. It was all good. And we'll do a post-audit and stuff with the board soon. So, yeah.
Great, thanks. So excellent job. Legislative OSBA liaison, Brad.
Yep, just two quick things I'll highlight. One, Craig highlighted this week in his Taxpayer Tuesdays that he's putting out that's on the Office of the Treasurer's site on the website. You can find the information in more detail, but one piece of legislation that would impact us is House Bill 420. That it starts to look at continuous levies for funding. In our district, it currently is all of our levies are continuous levies. So if this were to get some traction, this would change how we would have to do things in the future and go to the voters with things. But right now, it's just under consideration, and there's some more information on the website about that. For the board, one of the OSBA things that's coming up is May 8th and 9th. There's leadership training in Columbus. The last day to register for that is May 1st. So just want to bring that to your attention. And that's all I have for those. Thank you.
Very good. Very good, thank you. Permanent improvement facilities, Brad and myself. You want to comment?
Sure. I'll just call attention. We've got 4 things that are on the agenda tonight that relate, at least 4 things that relate to permanent improvements. There are 2 contracts that are coming up for bids that we approved last month. The contract for the tennis court improvements and the roofing at the middle school. There's also a contract for the LED retrofits that are going to go on at the middle school this summer, which would replace all of the lamps that are not currently LEDs, which will make that building much more efficient and should improve the quality of the lighting as well as reduce maintenance going forward in terms of maintaining. So I think that's pretty exciting. We also have a bid on tonight's agenda for the asphalt improvement, which are some of the smaller projects on this campus and a few other locations in the district to fix asphalt on the campus.
Great. PSO, Lisa.
The high school PSO is hard at work planning after prom. That's going to be April 25th and starts at 10 o'clock and goes till 1 a.m. It's open to all juniors, seniors, and they also added sophomores. Whether or not you attend prom, the tickets are $10, and it sounds great. You get a lot of different things: gift card, food, drinks, giveaways. The event features swimming, inflatables, games, music, prize opportunities, and a money tornado. So that sounds cool. At the middle school PSO, they successfully organized their spring Disney-themed musical review, which was called Dare to Dream. That was on April 11th and 12th. I heard it was really nice. I wasn't able to go, but I heard a lot of great reviews. And Mr. Harrison was the guest speaker at the April PSO meeting for middle school, so thank you to him for going to that. And then at the elementary school level, they're working on their spring book fair and chalk fest. That's going to be this Saturday, April 25th. That's a nice event. Obviously, it's the Scholastic Book Fair, and then people can come and buy chalk, and they have space on the playground where you can draw little chalk drawings and squares, and it's actually really nice chalk. It's better than like sidewalk chalk. It's kind of like an artistic, fun thing. So once you buy it, you get your chalk, you can take it home too. And then the 5th grade talent variety show is going to be Friday, May 1st. So PSO is working to get that organized. And then the next PSO council meeting will be Thursday, May 7th at 9:30. And that's it for PSO.
Great, thanks. Safety, Lisa and Ava. Sorry, safety, Lisa and Ava.
We don't have.
I don't think we have anything to update at this point.
Yeah, the elementary school had their rapid reentry drill. I didn't know, I thought I saw Mr. Koss. I didn't know if we wanted to say anything about how that went. It seemed like it was successful.
Yes, it was very successful, and, it was a full team effort, Mr. Koss, but then the admin and teachers at the elementary building on getting the kids back in the building was what the safety drill was. Rumor has it that Mr. Magyar was driving all over the parking lot and playground, and the kids then rapidly entered the building, attendance taken, and as always, processes, procedures are followed, but there's obviously areas for improvement, but overall it was a good drill.
Okay, Schools Foundation, Tish.
Just a couple of quick things for the Schools Foundation. Staff call for grant proposals will go out this week, and they will be due June 10th. So if you're planning on applying for a Schools Foundation grant, they are coming out this week. Be on the lookout for that. And then the Schools Foundation trustees are very much looking forward to Senior Awards Night on May 19th, where they are going to be handing out dollars in scholarships to our seniors. So they're getting excited for that. That's it.
Great, Sustainability, Brad and Ava.
Yep, I'll just speak quickly. It's, we have on the superintendent's communications tonight, we have a report of some of the great sustainability work that's going on in our buildings. And so I think I'll let the students and the advisors and everybody speak to that, and we can celebrate that in just a few minutes.
Transportation is myself. There have been no appeals this year, so hopefully that continues for the remaining month. So we're going to move on to item 4, Superintendent's Communications, and I'll turn it over to Jeff.
All right, well, first I want to thank the board. When we did the areas of responsibility, I didn't realize I was working myself out of a job, because you do such a great job of updating the community on everything that's happening in the district. So as an employee of the district, as an administrator in the district, I appreciate having an actively engaged board in those activities. So thank you very, very much. We do, just to give a quick overview here, we're going to have a presentation here shortly on sustainability that I'll introduce some of our guests. But then also for those in attendance, shortly thereafter, when we get to these portions of the agenda where we're hiring new people, we're introducing new people, we're introducing the gymnastics team, the wrestling team, we'll have a little break in the action and you can slide out the side door. I just like to make that public announcement so you don't feel awkward sliding out the door. You're more than welcome to hear the check register and everything else from my treasurer buddy here, but as we get later in the meeting, trust me, I know you have many things to be able to do. But we have great things to do today, and we'll start with the sustainability and our green team and different things of those activities in our buildings, which will be led by students. Then we'll quickly transition into recognizing some of our state placers and the wonderful things that have happened here over the winter, and then on to the rest of the agenda where we'll have some new hires that we'd like to introduce. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our students that are going to talk some sustainability with us. So Mr. Yanagloss will bring up the presentation, and whoever would like to kick us off, you're welcome to the podium. Just make sure you hit the button and it's green.
Hi, everyone. Happy Earth Day, first of all. We are just student representatives here of the Safe Club here at the high school and the Green Team at the middle school. We're going to talk about some of our sustainability efforts that are going on. My name is Alexis Soder. I am the project chair of Safe Club, and this is actually my 4th year in Safe Club. I joined as a freshman. I joined because I've always just kind of had an interest in the environment and trying to engage our community in that. So as project chair, I also work with Ella Rundo, who unfortunately isn't able to make it tonight, but we work together to organize projects for the club to kind of engage our student body in pursuing a more sustainable future, as well as contributing to local events with that as well.
My name is Caruso Pindor. I am a junior. I am the chair of recycling, so every Tuesday we go through the school and we take out recycling from the classrooms as well as the main office. I joined Safe Club 2 years ago, so this is my third year. I really joined it because I like the environment. I've always been a fan of the outdoors, and through Safe Club, I've been able to help and give back to the environment and do my part to help keep the earth clean.
My name is Richie Rossi. I am vice chair for recycling for Safe Club. And like every Tuesday, I make sure floor assignments go out so people know which floor they have to recycle for. This is also my third year in Safe Club. I joined because I really care about the planet's future, and I wanted to do my job promoting recycling and helping our school become more environmentally friendly.
My name's Jaden Hannah. I'm seventh grade. I joined Green Team to help our middle school to be in a healthier environment, and I especially care about our planet's future, and I'm looking forward to our middle school's future projects.
We talked a little about it in our introductions, but at the high school, we have weekly meetings every Tuesday where we collect all the recycling from different classrooms and areas throughout the building. So we collect the paper, plastic, and cardboard. We, as I said, do project-based activities to kind of engage our students, keep them excited. We've done updates on our pollinator garden. Actually, this past Tuesday, we were just out there digging it up a little, getting all the weeds out, and putting in some new flowers and stuff in there, so it looks really nice. We've made recycled bird feeders from water bottles and passed out plants at the City of Brecksville's own Earth Day event multiple times. More things like making recycled paper, outdoor cleanups, and helping with the local river sweep, which is coming up soon as well.
In the middle school, we're working on classroom recycling. In the lunchroom, we're having a shared table built, and we have mixed recycling in the lunchroom filtered through and thrown away by students and Miss Roderick. We also have a greenhouse, a shoe drive for the middle school and high school students, donated shoes. We also have a growing hydroponic vegetables.
Lastly, at the elementary school, we have the staff and PSO-led paper recycling in every classroom, office, pod, as well as workroom. There is an annual book swap, an Earth Day recess presentation, marker and pen glue stick bottle recycling containers, kitchen composing program, yearly donation station, which is the staff purging and swapping materials. There are leftovers donated up to the upcycle parts of the shop, a share bin in the cafeteria, gardens of growth, which is for students with high support needs, as well as staff swaps in Google Classroom.
So we're looking forward to doing a lot more high school and middle school collaborations as we move forward. I think we only really did one this year when we worked on the bird feeders, the recycled bird feeders. We had some of the middle schoolers come up and we helped them out with that. And we're looking forward to expanding that to the elementary school as well to get them more engaged and excited to move forward in like these clubs as they grow older.
So for the middle school, some highlights that they had, they collaborated with PSO, the sustainability chair, on a project. Thank you to Nikki, Laura, Hannah. They conduct a 6-month-long shoe drive with funds to orgs, where we collected, sorted, and stored many shoes, over 2,150 pounds of shoes, and we had help from the middle school and the high school up here, and we're really proud of that one.
The middle school sustainability innovative highlights, we worked with Jesse Pushpack, waste and management, community relations specialist, and BBH High School graduate on educational activities for our middle school students.
Some additional BBH City School District sustainability initiatives. We contact with the Rust Belt Riders for pre-consumer food service department composing, with approximately 14,250 pounds of waste diverted since August of 2024. We also contracted with clothesbins clothes, and shoe recycling bins to promote recycling, use textiles to divert them from waste streams. And then lastly, we have a book donation bin near the Board of Education.
Main reason we're here is to thank the Cuyahoga County Solid Waste District for our $15,000 grant. And we're just looking forward to a lot of what we can do moving forward with this and continuing to get our community engaged with it. So thank you for that.
So upgrades, we're looking to do this with this new grant. We want, for the high school, larger 10-gallon classroom bins for every single classroom to make it easier for recycling every Tuesday. More mixed recycling bins for common areas like the cafeteria, the media center, auditorium, things like that. And new carts and bins for transporting the recycling and to filter through it.
In the middle school, we have 10-gallon recycling bins for all classrooms to streamline paper recycling, new mixed cafeteria recycling bins for the cafeteria, gym, and auditorium, carts and bins for collecting recycling.
And then the elementary school is very similar to the high school and the middle school, with new carts for transporting bins to recycling dumpsters, additional recycling bins for common areas, mixed recycling bins for staff workrooms, formation of a green team like the middle school has for fifth graders to assist with collecting of mixed recycling containers from the staff workrooms in conjunction with the PSO volunteers. We are very excited for the new recycling bins. As you can see, they're a lot more formal and obvious which goes where.
Some hopes that we have for future improvements. At the high school, we want to improve our Tuesday recycling routine by getting better bins for collecting and for each classroom, because a lot of times we go, somehow the bins end up missing, got lost along the way. So making sure that every classroom has those. And we also want to strive for bigger hands-on projects. We would like to also get bigger bins for common areas like the cafeteria, which will encourage students to recycle more and kind of help inform them on what they should be recycling.
In the middle school, our plan is to improve our lunchroom recycling by getting bigger and better recycling bins for our classrooms. We will also expand our idea for the lunchroom share table so we do not waste food in the cafeteria. And if the kids don't have enough money for extras at lunch, the kids can share food during tables as long as they're not used or spit on, obviously.
Again, elementary school is very similar to the high school and middle school. They want to continue the green team with more students and staff members and expand a lot of recycling opportunities with their marker, pen, glue stick, and glue bottle recycling. Also, district-provided lamination recycling, recyclable bags for the shredder, elimination of styrofoam containers and plasticware, and more garden and green spaces. Overall, we're very happy with the grant we received. We're going to do our best to improve the recycling and overall green team things we're going to do here at the schools, and we thank you so much for listening.
Any questions from the board for our student participants this evening? Thank you guys, you did a wonderful job. I know it's not easy to come into a room like this with people sitting here and present, but we appreciate the work you're doing in the district and for the district and just helping educate not only our students but our staff. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Awesome. One other thing I want to point out on top of the grant that they spoke about, I do want to recognize the EPA of Ohio. We received in 2025 a $10,000 grant that paid for 14 hand dryers here in the high school restrooms, as well as one bottle filling station at transportation. So we're very thankful for the EPA for that Recycle Ohio grant that we received in 2025. So lots going on, lots of good stuff. It's a lot of change in behavior and habits that we have to teach our kids to be more sustainable, as well as the adults in and out of our district. So thank you. All right, well, next up, I'm going to introduce Mr. Maslona to come up and kick us off. And I think he'll be assisted by Mr. Jacob as well to recognize some of our state placers from this winter.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. Thank you, Board, for having us here tonight. Back a few months ago, after a gymnastics meet, I got the opportunity to talk with Ms. Kwiatkowski for a little while after a meet. And one thing she said really stuck with me was that, hey, it's a team effort, and it takes everybody to be successful. And I really thought long and hard about that after. And our board is totally invested into what we do in athletics. Mr. Harrison, former recovering athletic director, and Mr. Yanaglos, right down to Mr. Jacob into our high school, Mr. Rings at our middle school. It's a team effort. Everybody really cares about not only being good, but all of our kids having a good experience. So that really stuck with me when you said that to me. And one of the things I've tried to guard against, I like telling this story, and if you've heard me repeat it, is back in the 50s and 60s, Montreal Canadiens were on this big run of like championship after championship. And they had their victory parade after the season. They put out a press release, and it just said the parade will follow its usual route. And I never forgot that. I thought, well, that's complacency. And I vowed also never to get complacent. It is hard to win. It is really, really hard to win. And our kids make it look easy, and our coaches. We have really hardworking coaches and really hardworking kids who don't take anything for granted ever. So we're in the process of a winning streak in gymnastics of 23 straight state championships. Absolutely amazing. I'm around these kids, and I can't believe the heart they have and how hard they work and how much they care and the pressure they feel. So I'm so honored to work with them. And our wrestlers, I'm in my office late at night. They're working so hard. And wrestling's a unique sport in that it's a team sport and individual at the same time. And the way these kids prepare, it just blows my mind. So I'm just really honored to be with these kids, to work with these coaches, and I thank again the board and all of our leadership for their guidance. So the first person I want to introduce is Rachel Kieran. And is Rachel's not? Do you want to come up? You're welcome to come up. Okay, all right. No, that's fine. But one thing about Rachel, and I've done a lot of research with this. Now, she finished 6th in the state in diving this year and had a very good year. And there are thousands of divers, and she finished 6th. But last year, she finished 1st. She won the state diving championship. And she also was on the gymnastics team, and she's won 4 state gymnastics championships. But I did my research. She's the only one, the OHSAA is verified to their knowledge, she's the only student athlete in the history of the OHSAA who won 2 state championships in the same season. Now, kids have done it. You have runners, maybe cross-country in the fall and track in the spring, same school year. She did it in the same season, and I think she's the only one in Ohio to ever have done that. So just so proud. She's going to the Air Force Academy, and it is really an honor to work with your daughter. It really is.
Yes.
So next up, I'm going to introduce this young lady who it's an honor to work with you as well. And and I'd love to have you come up and introduce your team. And again, 23 straight championships. It's just amazing. I was an English major in college. I have run out of adjectives. So Maria Schneider.
Girls, come on up. I'm not talking too long. Come on, because then you can go sooner. All right, so of the 16 girls, 4 are here. Most are at a practice, at track practice, at a track meet, at diving practice, at work. They're all of the above. They had valid excuses. I don't think anyone's just sitting at home right now. It was a great season. I think what makes this team extra special is, like Mark stated and Tish said the same, it is a team effort. We did not lose one competition this whole season, and we didn't have the girls that were on the podium on state meet day in every competition. And so that's what shows the depth of the team and why each person matters on the team, whether they're on the podium that day and if they didn't compete, it still made the other girls work just as hard. And that's what we try to instill in them from day one, It doesn't matter if you compete. In 20 years, someone's going to say, you were a state champion. You're going to say, yes, I was. And they're not going to know what you competed or what you did, but you were part of that team, and that's what makes this program so amazing. And we continue to win, but as Kathy will tell you, every year it's a little like, and we were losing going into the last rotation. We were losing, and somehow I got wind of it. I usually don't want to know, but I found out the nerves set in, but they did it. Oh, the nerves were there. All right, so let's just quickly congratulate the girls that are here. Annabelle Dax. I'll get you your plaque. And all 4 of these girls did compete on team day. And we have Gwen Popelski. And Gwen also competed on individual day on the vault. And then we have Olivia Vasile. And Olivia also was an individual state qualifier as well. And then we have Abby Pignatello. And Abby is also an individual state champ on the balance beam. And I do want to say that individual day is really hard because you come off of team night, and for those girls to like get to bed, oh, and OHSAA did not think about the time change, and you lose an hour, and so we lost an hour of sleep, and then they have to get up and they have to go do it all over again, and it's their time to shine as an individual. And it's just really incredible and amazing that these girls were able to get up and go out there, and our team score would have been higher on individual day than it was on team day. And that goes to show you, and we only had a few girls on each event, the 4 at minimum, so that's pretty cool. Congratulations to the Brexville Broadview Heights Bees Gymnastics.
Mr. Jacob, you want to do the next?
I'm excited to be able to speak for Coach Haverdill this evening. He's actually in Las Vegas right now as he prepares to coach the World Team Trials. Is something he gets asked to do every single year that speaks to the quality of a coach that he is. So with that, I'm going to ask the wrestling team to come on up here real quick that's with us this evening. Most of these guys, you don't even know this, but a lot of them have practice immediately right after here. A lot of them are training to travel to Las Vegas tomorrow to compete to try and qualify for the World Championships here that are coming up later this summer. So their season, while over from the high school standpoint in the state of Ohio, it really, if you know anything about wrestling, it never stops. And when you speak to the dedication and the work ethic and more, the talent that these gentlemen and young lady have, it is really something special. So I'll talk a little bit briefly about each of them. The first is going to be Rylan Seacrest. Rylan, why don't you come on over here and get your certificate, and I'll talk about you a little bit. Rylan goes down as, stay here, Rylan, you got to be on the camera. Come on, buddy. He loves the camera, you can tell. Rylan goes down as one of the most decorated wrestlers in Brexville Broadview Heights history. Not only is Rylan an outstanding wrestler in the state of Ohio, he is actually finishing his high school career as the #1 ranked wrestler in the United States. And what makes Rylan's career so special is it wasn't easy. He has battled injury after injury and adversity where a lot of people would have probably packed it up a long time ago, and I don't think that is anywhere in Rylan's DNA. He is an outstanding young man. One of the things that he is doing before he leaves Brexville Broadview Heights is he is hosting a free wrestling camp on Monday, May 4th for anybody who's interested in coming to learn from him and some other impressive wrestlers. Right after the state championship, he came into my office and asked if he could give something back to the wrestling community. And I think that speaks volume to Rylan. He's really been a joy to have here the past 4 years, and we wish him luck at Arizona State next year. Congratulations, Rylan. Next up is Zach Aquila. Come on over, Zach. people might not have known, but Zach had some of the greatest pressure entering the state tournament this year, maybe of anybody in the field. He had a very decorated middle school career, was a middle school state champion, and he'd been kind of earmarked for the last couple of years, I think, as somebody who was expected to win a state championship. And he competes at one of the toughest weight classes in the state of Ohio. You get a lot of guys that body size, that 165 weight. You know, you have a lot of talent at that weight class. And he went in with some expectations that were probably higher than a lot of people, maybe next to Ryland, probably second highest possibly in the entire tournament. And he came out a state champion, and then a couple weeks later went out and became a national runner-up. Ryland is already committed to Little Rock University. I'm sorry, Ryland. Zach is already committed to Little Rock University. He's a junior, so we're excited to have him back next year. And one of the things that surprised me the most about Zach this year is when we got to go to the elementary school for our Parade of Champions. Zach, you know, he could be a little intense sometimes. And you say hi to him in the hall, and he's all business. He's ready to go. And the second he was around a couple of kindergartners, he turned into the softest, nicest kid I think I've ever seen in my life. He also enjoyed the slide. But it really goes to show what a nice young man he is. When he was around those little kids, high-fiving them, telling them that they could be the next state champion, signing autographs, like he really was in his element that I never thought I would see, with his character, because he's, like I said, he is business all the time. So Zach, I was really impressed with you that day, and I hope you know that. So congratulations. Next up is Drew Morrow. Drew also competed as one of the more difficult weight classes in the state of Ohio, and he ended up being a runner-up. He had a pretty significant injury this season as well. He was actually laid up for a couple weeks and wasn't active, and it wasn't a guarantee that he was going to be ready to compete for the state meet, but he put it all together and went on an unbelievable run, coming in second place and then turning around, flip-flop with Zach, and ended up becoming a national champion a couple weeks later. I think the thing I like most about Drew is I don't know if I've ever seen one of our wrestlers smile as much as Drew. You go into a classroom, he's smiling. You see him in the hallway, he's smiling. You see him in the wrestling room, he's smiling. You see him during conditioning with Coach Haverhill, he's not smiling. But besides that, he's really just a very nice young man and someone we're very proud of. And we, once again, also very glad we'll be back next year to kind of set the stage for the team next year as well and hopefully finish it off with a state championship. So congratulations, Drew. Up next, we got Cole Spear. Come on over, Cole. Now, Cole asked me to be very quick because he's playing pickleball this evening. So he wants me to get done how quick?
5 minutes.
Oh, you want 5 minutes?
Yeah.
For you?
For the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing. Okay, all right. Cole, again, one of our guys who is also kind of in that meat grinder weight class bracket. You know, you start getting between the 144s and the 165s, and you just have a lot of talent in the state of Ohio. And Cole is only a sophomore, and he keeps getting better and better and better. When you talk to Coach Haverhill about kids that he looks to that just do all the right things and make all the right moves, he always mentions Cole. I think he's a young man of great character. He's a young man of great effort. And he is a kid who does all the things that you want to see happen during the course of the school day. Takes a pretty challenging course load as well here and there. He's a pretty good student, and that is something that we're very proud of because he was an All-Ohio academic member as well. So congratulations, Cole. Up next, we have EJ German. Come on over, EJ. EJ is a three-time state placer, right? Or two-time state placer, sorry about that. But what's interesting about EJ is he's actually competed the last couple of years at the heavyweight spot. And this year he had the ability to, I don't know if it's the ability, but the challenge of having to drop down to 215. And EJ, is an incredible athlete. He's been a mainstay on our varsity football team. You played 4 years varsity football, correct? Yep, 4 years varsity football. He's a starter on our offensive lineman. And one of the things I think that I love most about EJ, besides he's also a guy who's always smiling like Drew, he has been one of the cornerstones of our teammates class this year, which is a physical education class with general education peers and some of our most profound students with disabilities. And EJ is like a celebrity in there, and he is just so gracious in his interactions and his relationships that are genuinely kind, and, you know, somebody that he taught, you know, he really models what you want to see in terms of how to treat everybody. So EJ's, he's sometimes a big teddy bear, but overall, he is one of our best seniors this year. We've been lucky to have him. We're going to miss him next year. And last time we talked, he said he was going into education, so I think he's still thinking about it. So we might see him back here in the halls one day. So congratulations, EJ. Come on over, Cole. You're next. We already did the other Cole. It's your turn. Cole told me his parents made him wear a collar tonight, so he's not too happy. Cole has one of the best stories of the team this year. Cole came in 8th place in the heavyweight division. Again, one of the more challenging divisions. I mean, it's pretty challenging in all of the Ohio divisions, but heavyweight, you got to be not only big, but you got to be athletic. And Cole was not on the varsity A team up until this year, and he is a testament to what hard work, perseverance, dedication, and belief in oneself can really do. He kept at it when a lot of people might have walked away when they didn't get the instant success that, you know, some of the other wrestlers have. And Cole just doesn't have, you know, a quit in his DNA. I've really gotten to know Cole this year a lot. He is really a funny kid. He is really enjoyable. He's going to be going to JCU next year to continue his wrestling career. And Cole, thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking with it, because without you, I don't know that we have a heavyweight placer this year, and that's really something impressive to add to the record. So thank you for being you. We appreciate you. And no offense, guys, but I saved my favorite for last. Come on, Miss Motti, come on over here. Anna is afraid of me, so she might stay. I've challenged her to numerous matches, and she backs down every single time. So she just doesn't want, she knows. But Anna is the very definition of a ceiling breaker, a glass ceiling breaker. You know, women's wrestling in the state of Ohio was relatively new, and Anna had not wrestled until her freshman year, really, a little bit here and there. Put herself out there and turned out to be a 4-time state placer. Runner-up her freshman year, and I will never forget, it was a couple days right afterwards, and you guys were getting ready to do the Murph for Memorial Day, and they were carrying kettlebells around the school, and here you see this freshman girl who had just came in 2nd place walking around with 50-pound kettlebells, leading the pace while everybody else is whining and crying, and she's just going like you've never seen it before. And at that moment, I'm like, yeah, she's different. She's a little different. Anna is truly one of the nicest kids we have in our building. She's one of our office aides, and earlier this year, one of our administrative assistants lost their father, and Anna came in the very next day when she returned back to work and had a care package for her. So the things that you don't see about kids that they do on a day-to-day basis, what makes them different, Anna has all of those qualities. So many young women in this community look up to her, and she is an incredible role model. So we're so grateful that you are who you are as well, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give these guys one more round of applause. And you want to mention robotics briefly?
Yeah.
Sure. Our robotics team also had quite a great season as well, and they will probably be here at a May meeting, I'm thinking, but we would be remiss if we didn't recognize the great season that they had as well. They're not here because they are currently competing at the World Championship in St. Louis. And I talked to Mr. Kowach today. They're all still alive, heading into tournament play on Friday, so that is a good sign. He says they're doing pretty well. This year, we had our 5th straight state championship with Team 2011B winning the state championship. They actually hit what is called the Triple Crown because they also got the Skills Award, which goes for the best driver and the most points during the autonomous round. And they also had the Excellence Award, which is like kind of the best in show, in addition to winning the state championship. So big things hopefully await them in what they call the Dome in St. Louis. We also had Team 2011A, who who won the Think Award, which goes to the team that shows the best skill and prowess with coding and the autonomous phase within the competition. Team 2011K won the Build Award, which goes to the team that demonstrates the greatest engineering and the most robust / like sound engineered robot. And then we had two teams, 2011 F and J, who were actually the runners-up to Team 2011 in the state championship. So in a pretty closely contested match. So those guys aren't here, and we know we'll have them in here in May. But thank you to our robotics team and Mr. Koach for all of the work that they do. So thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Jacob. If you didn't know any better, you would think Mr. Jacob was our wrestling coach, but he's actually our high school principal. And many of times when we have presentations like this, I've said over and over again, and I'll continue to say it, this isn't normal. The number of championships, the number of state qualifiers, the number of state placers, a high school principal that knows wrestling inside and out like Mr. Jacob knows. We are very blessed to have the children that we have the opportunity to teach and instruct every day, but also the adults in this district are outstanding. That goes to our coaches like Coach Schneider and Haverdale and many of the coaches across the board. I can't thank them enough for the time that they put in and the special experiences they make for our student athletes. I mean, I look at some of these experiences that these student athletes have, and collegiate athletes don't have some of the same experiences they have here at Brecksville Broadview Heights, so we're very blessed in that way. However, one more quick recognition because, as Mr. Mazzalona said, it takes a team to pull off high school interscholastic athletics in a building like Brecksville Broadview Heights High School. And that team needs somebody spinning the plates behind the scenes. And as Mr. Mazzalona said, I am a recovering athletic director of 10 years, so I've done the job. But I want to recognize Mark Mazzalona because this year he was Athletic Director of the Year for the Northeast Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. So Mark, congratulations to you. Everyone wants to be an athletic director until they get the opportunity to be an athletic director. They think we just sit at games and watch games and eat popcorn. But the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes to make sure buses are where they need to be, officials show up when they do, schedules roll without it, they're never recognized until something goes wrong. They never get recognition when things go right. And Mark, you do so much right for us. You are a great ambassador for our school, and I couldn't be more proud of this award that you received this year. And thank you from all the student athletes that won't understand or recognize until they're long down the road and their careers are over. But I appreciate the work you put in to make a great experience for our kids. So thanks again, Mark. Just a couple quick updates and we'll get rolling with the agenda so we can introduce some of our new bees that'll be coming to our district next year. But coffee chat tomorrow morning, so Craig and I and our road show, the Thursday morning after a board meeting, we show up at Panera Bread. Invite anybody from our community to come in and have conversation, dialogue. I'll have some of my same season ticket holders that are there every month. So I appreciate those community members showing up at 9 o'clock tomorrow at Panera Bread here in Brecksville. Just as I always do at each meeting, kindergarten registration, we're up to 250 or over. We are over 250 for next year, and we have hit the cap for all-day kindergarten. So we capped all-day kindergarten at 210. So we have 210 students in all day, which leaves us 40-some students for half-day. So we have two sections of half-day. So pretty much all of our kindergarten classrooms next year will have about 20 to 22 students in them. So very healthy number. But as Mr. Yanaglos and I were talking today, the enrollment study that was done the year the new building opened is proving true. And this was a year where we were going to have a little bit of a bump. Not as big of a bump as our 280 or 290 class that already went through or getting through the elementary building. But this year, or this incoming kindergarten class, is a little bit larger because the past 2 years it was 235 for each one of those classes. And then we'll pick up a handful of kids going from kindergarten to first, those who chose to do a private kindergarten, and will come back to us. So those numbers fluctuate a little. If we're in that 250 to 260 range, we are right-sized and fit very nicely within the building. So that is an update on kindergarten registration. With that, I'll move on to agenda item number 5.
Okay. It's really hard to follow student recognition, but Craig is the guy to do it. So number 5, treasurer communication. Craig, you're on.
Thanks. We'll get through this quickly, hopefully. So we're going to analyze just real quick the month over month from last year. So it looks like the revenue looks amazing on this, right? Up 24.6% year over year. This is due to the fact that the real estate we received this year in March, which is our settlement for the first half collection, these are the taxes really from 2025, were collected at over $6 million higher than they were the previous year. No, spoiler alert, we did not get $6 million extra. The county has just delayed our payments in January and February. We are running according to how we should be running. Although hot off the press regarding Cuyahoga County is that they sent the treasurers an email last week, and they have indicated that they are no longer going to advance funds to us at all. We don't know what that means. As I've spoken before, our cash balances are extremely low in the months of January and February. Where if they continue to do this, I will most likely have to pull money out of investments in order to make payroll and our regular expenditures. We have enough money in investments, however, it's still, we utilize those funds to help our levy cycles and whatnot. So we're trying to get some more clarity with the county, Cuyahoga County Commission to see if they will give us some of our money, because it's our money and the taxpayers have paid it. And so they are supposed to advance that to us by law. So those are some things we're looking into, because that would be basically, if we had done the same thing and not gotten anything this year, I would have essentially been, by the March payroll, I would have been at $0 of liquid cash. So we would have had to make an adjustment. So anyway, that's on the revenue side, but overall things are still looking good. On expenditures, they are also 9.1% higher, which is slightly over the forecast, but overall it's still doing good. In total, salaries were up $100,000, benefits were up $10,000, purchase services, and one of the things that was fascinating, which our wonderful auditor and treasurers for the county, those fees were up $150,000 this year for this settlement. Let me move that. This is what our numbers look like. Last year is green and blue, so that's the revenue from last year is the green line in terms of fiscal year to date from July to present through the end of March. So, and then the expenditure side are the orange and the purple numbers. So orange was last year, purple is this year. Again, overall, we are still trending a little higher on the expenditures, but also much higher on the revenue side. And this is our ending projected cash balance. We would end the fiscal year with a general fund cash balance of $19.6 million. It is a net increase of cash right now at $389,000, which would be $500,000 over the forecast. That's great. Our days of cash on hand, however, remain pretty steady at 122 days of cash. As you know, our cash balance policy states that we should have at least 90 days of cash on hand, which we do meet. And then lastly, whoopsies, that goes really big, doesn't it? I did that last time. Sorry. So these are the actual line items that we have for the month that are there for your review. So we are trending pretty well according to the forecast on the revenue side, a little bit higher than usual, but also a little bit higher than usual on the salary side that we projected. We will have an update for the board at the end of May, so I'll be re-updating the numbers to see where we are falling at that time. Are there any questions? Okay, the annual spending plan and cash position are also available as reports for you to review.
Okay, moving on to item 6, community communications. Does anyone here wish to be heard? No? Okay. So I'll dispense with reading that narrative, and we'll move on to item 7, the consent agenda. Item 7A, resolve to approve certified personnel recommendations. 7B, resolve to approve classified personnel recommendations. 7C, resolve to approve supplemental personnel recommendations. 7D, resolve to approve the check register and bank reconciliation as attached. 7E, resolve to accept donations as presented. 7F, resolve to approve the minutes from the March 18th, 2026 regular board meeting as attached. 7G, resolved to approve consent items 7A through 7F. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, so now we get to the part of the meeting, and we have so many people here for us tonight. We have the opportunity to introduce some of our new Bs that will be joining us next school year. So we're going to start with our certified recommendations. As Mr. Yangelos brings this up, we have one contract revision, recommendations for contract renewals. Those renewals there are our administrators that I shared with you last month. So many of them are in the room as well, and I want to thank them for their continued service and work behind the scenes. Appreciate all that they do. Jason Black is on here again. Just point this out. Jason Black is a teacher in our district, an intervention specialist, but this past school year did a half teacher contract, half administrator contract, because he has a desire to become an administrator someday. And so to do the alternative pathway, he needed to be on an administrative contract. He's done a lot of work both at the middle school and high school and helping out behind the scenes, and I think has had a very valuable experience. We'll be doing the same thing again next year. But also thank you to Josh, Sydney, Lisa, Todd, Cassie, and Brian, members of our administrative team. I could not do my job as superintendent, and our district would not run as smooth as it does without those individuals behind the scenes. They do a lot of the heavy lifting, and I appreciate them each and every day. Recommendations. We have recommendations on here across the board, across the district of individuals that will be joining us. We are blessed to be what I refer to as a destination district. And when we have openings in our school district for teacher or any other certified individual, we have hundreds and hundreds of applicants. So some of those applicants that you'll have the opportunity to meet here shortly are those who have gone through the interview process, multi-step interview process, and have risen to the top because of the quality of a person that they are, most importantly, and educator. Many of them, and you'll hear about them, some of them have been working in our classrooms for some time and have had the opportunity to join us in a long-term substitute position, a student teaching position, and which can be at times the hardest job because you're interviewing day in and day out, and you can't really have a bad day. So these individuals have really earned their opportunity to become part of our district. So I think to introduce some of these new Bs that we have with us tonight, I'm going to start with our K2 principal, Mrs. Colleen Toth. So Mrs. Toth, if you could come up and introduce the new individuals. Not often as principal do we get applause, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that at all, so thank you. The people who need the applause are the people we're going to be talking about tonight. As Mr. Harrison said, we had hundreds of applicants for 3 positions in our kindergarten and first grade classroom. So I am extremely excited to introduce 4 educators tonight that will be joining our team at the elementary school. The first one is Megan McCoo. Megan is not a new face. She has spent a year and a half in our kindergarten classroom as a long-term substitute. And as Superintendent Harrison shared, she was job interview every single day she came in. And every single day Megan comes in, she comes in with a smile. She comes in, embraces her kids with hugs. You wouldn't see Megan in the hallways without a smile or a greeting at her door. She is a rock star to that kindergarten team as a colleague. She adds so much to her PLC meetings. So we're excited to have Megan continue in that role as a kindergarten teacher. So welcome, Megan. The next hire is Amanda Chalky. Amanda has been a second grade long-term substitute this year. And again, just like Megan, Amanda comes every day with 110% into her work. She excels with data and interventions. You'll never see Megan without a small group at her table during any given time. So Amanda, you are a rock star in that grade level, and we're excited to continue having you in a first grade position next year, taking that expertise in your intervention and data to add to that team. What one solid team that's going to be with your addition as well. So thanks, Amanda, and welcome. Our next hire is a student teacher of ours from last fall, Jana Lipchek. I'm excited to introduce Jana. She started as a student teacher and a position opened up mid-year. Jana took that opportunity as we had a resignation in the building, and she jumped in with grace and professionalism. She immediately went to work, getting to know her students, their needs, looking at the data, and just jumping right in. Jana gives 110% every single day she comes in to meet the needs of every single one of her students. So welcome, Jana. And finally, I'm excited to introduce to you our new school counselor, Mrs. Rebecca School. Yes, that's school. Rebecca came in an interview process. Again, we had over 50 applicants for this position, and she just wowed us. She came into a kindergarten classroom, taught a lesson, and she was so impressive because what she was doing was she was creating a lesson on careers. Having kindergartners, 5-year-olds, talk about their strengths and identify their strengths to get them to understand what they loved and what they didn't like. So it was very impressive to have that, and we're excited to have Rebecca join our K2 counseling, our K5 counseling team, because she's going to bring a wealth of knowledge to our team. She is currently sits on the board for the Ohio School Counselors Association, so she brings to us a lot of knowledge, and our counselors are really going to benefit from that, as well as our staff and our students and families. So welcome, Rebecca. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you, Mrs. Toth. Well, Mr. Magyar, Ms. McCauley, or is it Coco going to introduce our new intermediate teacher? She's entertaining our Okay, awesome.
Good evening, everybody. We are very lucky to welcome and have Cameron Nelson, part of the BBHCSD family. We had a lot of candidates, and when we started interviewing, she stuck out right away. And what really stuck out to us was her lesson. It was so genuine, and the care that she had for the kids, that was noticeable right away. But the best part was the lesson was fun. These kids were doing math. It was different for every kid. You could tell she put a ton of time into it, and the kids just walked out with smiles on their faces, and they learned math. And that right there, we knew right away. But then talking to people from Midview Middle School and asking, okay, tell me a little bit about this person. She's a jack of all trades. She cares about people, she cares about kids, and she's here for the staff and the students. And that is what we're looking for, and we are super excited to have her, and I can't wait to see her get started next school year. So welcome to the team.
Mr. Rings?
Good evening. Like the elementary and intermediate school, we had a long list of candidates that Mr. Jacob and I were fighting over. We ended up with the OU graduate, which is just fine. He ended up with the Bowling Green graduate. Sorry, Samantha. But I know you started at Bowling Green, so at least I count that as well, okay? Just so you know. But Samantha McGonigal, I have known her 10 years, 12 years, something like that. She's not a newbie, because she's still a B. So she was actually our office aide in our office. When she was a student here, she was a student teacher. She was a special ed assistant at the elementary school last year, and this year she was a student teacher at the elementary building. And I've heard nothing but rave reviews from her. She knocked us all over at her interview with the high school team as well. They were very high on her as well. But we were lucky enough to land her at our middle school. So we welcome her. I've had the privilege of working with her mom, her aunt, her uncle, and her grandma all throughout my career here at Breckford-Bobby Heights School. So welcome, Samantha. She'll be teaching 8th grade ELA as an intervention specialist. Awesome. So thank you.
Mr. Jacob?
The high school is excited to welcome a few new staff members next year as well. One, I'll start with Ms. Gianna Huber, who is going to be coming to us as a physical education teacher. She's actually served as a long-term sub this year for us. She's not here this evening because she's actually volunteering to coach our track team right now. So I think that says everything you need to know about Ms. Huber as to why we're bringing her back. Kudos to Mr. Wyckoff, who found a real diamond in the rough in late July with Ms. Huber. As Ms. Toth talked about, when you're a long-term sub, you're auditioning and interviewing every single day, and I am happy to say that Gianna has blown that interview every single day out of the water. She is a ball of energy, has great relationships with our staff, and most importantly, great relationships with our students, and we're very hopeful that she can bring some new ideas and opportunities to our physical education department at the high school as we move forward in the coming years. She's really been an outstanding addition for us, so we're excited to welcome her back next year. Also coming back with us next year is Miss Michaela Pitek. Ms. Pitek a few years ago bailed us out. There were no subs available whatsoever. We had a teacher who was taking a maternity leave, and we had a couple of candidates come in, and we were like, not so sure. And then we met Ms. Pitek, who was actually a non-traditional educator. She had a math degree. She didn't have any teaching experience, but wanted to give teaching a try. And we liked what she had to say, and she had a group of seniors that year, and she didn't skip a beat. You know, somebody who had never been in a classroom walked right in and owned the room from the moment she walked into it. And from there, she has gone on to work at a couple of different schools, most recently Norton. But when we posted a long-term sub position available, she applied for it, and we brought her in, and we thought that she would be somebody that would be a great addition to our department. And she came into this year knowing nothing was guaranteed for the following year, and she bet on herself. And she has done an outstanding job. Our math department is one of the best groups of teachers you will ever meet. They are outstanding math educators, and they speak very highly of Ms. Pitek. They think she adds quite a bit of math competency, a very high understanding of math to the classes that she teaches. And one of the things that we became overly impressed with her this year was her flexibility while also remaining firm and high standards for students. It's a very delicate balance. Sometimes you can have a tough time letting people walk all over you, or you could have to give them grace at certain times. And Ms. Pitek really has a natural skill for holding kids accountable while also showing them grace along the way. So we're very excited to have her back next year as well. And our newest hire, a true newbie, not like Sammy who went to OU, great job, Sammy. She did have the misfortune of going to Bowling Green, Miss Ellie Radabaugh. Ellie has spent the year teaching at Mapleside, North Olmsted, at what building? Chestnut. I knew it was a tree. She spent a year teaching there in a mild or moderate to intense classroom, and she really, really wanted to come to the high school level. And a candidate's pretty special when their high school teachers start reaching out to you saying that this is a kid that you want to interview and this is a kid that you want to give an opportunity to because of the great character and energy that they bring to the room. And during the interview process, Ellie really impressed us in a lot of different ways. One, she spontaneously started to sing, and when you have that type of confidence, that's a really good thing, so we enjoyed that about her. And two, she really blew us away with the materials that she had. We have a very rigorous interview process where we make people teach a lesson in front of a live group of kids, and our kids adored her, and our teachers were blown away at her level of preparation. She actually read the novel that the class was reading in about a two-day period. We didn't give them a lot of time on purpose to see how they would react, especially with transition planning, and we asked her to put together a transition plan for students that are looking to go to a post-secondary learning experience, and she hasn't done that with fifth graders and little guys, and she blew it out of the water. It was very, very thorough. I mean, Miss Spengler didn't even have any questions at the end, which is where you really have done a good job if Miss Spengler's impressed. So we're very excited to welcome Ellie to the Hive next year, and she's going to be teaching 8th and 9th grade English language arts and co-taught settings, and we're thinking she's going to do some great things, especially in some of our extracurricular areas as well. She wants to get involved in drama, possibly speech and debate, and some things along those lines. So we think we're going to get a lot of value from Ellie for a lot of years to come. So welcome to Brexville Broadview Heights.
thank you to all the principals that gave up time this evening to come and introduce the new employees that will be joining us. This truly is a destination district, and you have found yourself in one of the best school districts in the state of Ohio. So welcome, and you have the great honor of working in a district that our communities care deeply about what we do and what you do each and every day. So look forward to long careers. We're almost there to make it official. Just hold tight. So we'll move on to the classified recommendations. One last certified comment, because I was asked this by a board member. On our certified side, we have some summer school appointments there for ESY, and the question was, how many of our typical or normal staff participate in ESY? And that number continues to grow each and every year. Many are in the room this evening, and we thank them for their continued service throughout the summer with our students with special needs who need that consistency from our staff. And Mrs. Spangler and her team have done a great job of getting things ready for ESY, so thank you. But on the classified side, another contract revision. We've had a new building secretary at the elementary, contract renewal for Jan Piskak. If you don't know Jan, she is the one who is spinning the plates in transportation every single morning, making sure our routes are covered. Our district doesn't operate unless we get our kids here on the buses, and Jan plays a big role in that, so we're happy to extend another contract to her. We have other recommendations for bus driver, secretary, stage crew across the board there. And then you will also see some summer school recommendations. Supplementals. One of note here, and I'd ask Mr. Mazzalona to come back to the podium and introduce our new football coach for the fall of 2026. So Mark, do you mind?
Thanks, Jeff. I'll try and keep this brief. I have so many good things to say about Coach Schreiber that I really don't want to keep it brief, but I will. When we went through this process, in my opinion, when you're hiring a head coach, you want to go through a process. Now, Dan jumped out right away as already being on our staff and being someone that we wanted to talk to, but you want to go through the process. You never know. Kevin Stefanski just got fired by the Browns. He might call me and say, hey, I need a job, but you just never know who might be out there. And so we went through the whole process, and Dan just kept jumping out. He was at the head of this class from the beginning, and it just reinforced what we thought of him every step of the way through this process. So that excited me, and just personally, when I'm interviewing coaching candidates or anybody else, I envision myself introducing that coach to families. I envision him or her coaching my girls and saying, is this somebody I'm proud of? Am I excited about introducing this coach to our families? And when I am, I know that jumps out at me. And there have been times that I kind of liked a candidate and I thought, I really don't want to, I'm not excited about introducing them to families. So anyway, everybody pretty much knows Dan here. He loves this school district. I mean, he loves this school district, and that's another thing that set him apart. He's invested in this school district from top to bottom, always has been, always will be, and I am so excited to work more closely with him. I am honored to be associated with him, so I want to introduce Coach Dan Schreiber.
Thank you, Mark, for the kind introduction. Mr. Jacobs, for your support throughout the process. Mr. Harrison, the board, for your support. Being a coach for 23 years here, the next person I need to acknowledge is my wife, Michelle, and her support is, none of this happens without her. And so my three children, Grady, Macy, and Maggie, are in this district, and actually all three of them will be in this building next year, which is kind of unique to have happen. So, we had a first team meeting last week, and I told the boys, 30 years ago, I was them. I was a 15-year-old freshman football player in this district, and I remember sitting in the locker room like it was yesterday, listening to Coach Herrick talk about Bees football and the passion that he had for it. And man, I was hooked. And I haven't looked back since. And so, people ask me all the time, why do you put in all this effort? Why do you do all this? It's crazy what you do. And I was fortunate at that age that there were some really, really good coaches running this program. Mike Glazier, Jamie Hitmar, Ralph DeSantis, Jay Youngs, Bill Powers, Coach Koza. I mean, the list goes on and on of great men that were here. And, after I graduated and I got to know them more as coaching peers, I realized, man, they're really awesome individuals. And so taking over this is very humbling for me to consider even being mentioned with those guys. And it's my opportunity to create a program that I was able to have under them for the young men of this community. And that's why, I do it, and I told those guys that. So, my goal is to, create an environment where those guys could be great in the classroom, great in the community, and hopefully great on the field as well, so that people can be proud of them like they are the wrestling program and robotics and gymnastics and so many others. And so that's my goal for them, and I hope I'm able to achieve that. So thank you to all of you.
One last that I want to circle back to on the class or certified side that I inadvertently skipped was Megan Bolton. Megan Bolton is here this evening with us. If you've been at a board meeting in the past, you've heard us talk about Kappa and the great work that Kelly Lazar has done over the years. Megan Bolton is a staff member who we hired through the Educational Service Center of Northeast Ohio and is here at the high school as student wellness or student behavior individual, helping some of our students with some of the most needy situations. But next year, she'll become our Student Behavior Wellness and Prevention Service Supervisor. That's a mouthful. But she's going to be helping not only do what she currently does at the high school, but also help with Huddle Junior, and SAD, some of our most successful student leadership opportunity clubs and groups that we have here. And her background and her experiences just fit this position perfectly. We look forward to her taking this next step in her career. She also is a community member and has had children go through our district, so she is committed, just like Dan and many of our other employees that call Brexville Broadview Heights their home. Megan is in that same class of individuals, and we're excited for this opportunity. So with that, those are all my recommendations, and we can move on to the check register, I guess.
You guess. It's the most exciting part. The check register, bank reconciliation are there. This is a list of gracious donors that are available up on your screen. It's like, I'll scroll down to the bottom. So many thanks to all of those donations. And then we also have the minutes from last month that are available. Any questions?
I have no questions about the check register. Are we allowed to make comments after we vote? Or do we need to make comments now?
I think you have to make them before.
I have to make them.
I think.
Well, it's just about the consent agenda in general, all the people, very exciting always when we hire new staff, very exciting. The one thing that I just kind of wanted to show my appreciation as a board member is the administrators that are on the agenda tonight. Mr. Harrison allows us to have an open kind of relationship with our administrators in the district as board members, and I've learned so much from them, and just appreciate their openness and inviting us into the buildings. Just excited to have this on the agenda for all of you, and just to say to Cassie Spangler how much I appreciate. Special education has my heart. Those of you that know me, you know that is my background. That is what I do every day. I just appreciate the intentionality, the analysis, and the heart that you bring to the process that you're putting in place for special education in this district. So I just wanted to make sure that I shared that before we vote.
And I will. There will be an opportunity for comment after we vote.
Okay, well, that's why I was asking.
I know, because I don't want to prematurely, congratulate all of our new hires until it's official. So,
correct.
Are there any other comments or questions?
And I thought she wanted to talk just about the check register.
No.
Too bad, Craig.
I'm like, why? Ready?
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Chase.
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick.
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski.
Absolutely, yes.
Ms. O'Mara.
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, motion passes 5-0. So welcome aboard, congratulations.
Yes.
Welcome.
And we will not take offense if anyone wants to bow out at any point in time. So you're welcome to stay, but you're welcome also to move on. We're going to move on to item 8, superintendent recommendations. Item 8A.
Oh.
Is there a, can you scroll up?
I'm typing it right now, but it'll be resolved to approve the, Sherry must have not
No,
had this
it's
in there.
first read.
Oh, is it first?
Yes,
Oh, I thought
first
this
read.
was second,
No,
sorry.
first read.
Oh, it's just, okay. So this is a first
Scratch
reading
that.
of our new policy, so there is no
Yeah.
action on it.
Nothing. I just want to point out a couple on here. We had our policy committee with Pat Corbett from Neola. Thank you to Ava and Brad for participating in that. He ran us through all of these. There are some that Neola recommended that we chose not to move forward. These are the ones that we're moving forward. A couple that I just want to point out, because one that was not part of the Neola update, but I added on here, was the interscholastic eligibility. And this is not a lessening of standards, but in our policy locally, we had a 1.5 GPA requirement. And also, you have to be OHSAA eligible. To be OHSAA eligible, you have to pass 5 one-credit courses that count towards graduation the preceding 9 weeks. To do that and have less than a 1.5 is nearly impossible. So the 1.5 is a little bit of overkill, but it also hurts some of our students because there are a few situations where a student could be OHSAA eligible and not meet the 1.5 GPA requirement. Not that we're promoting kids to have less than a 1.5, but issue comes up if we have pass-fail courses, or we modify a schedule, or there's something different going on with Career Center grades and things of that nature. So we just wanted to make sure that we weren't intentionally holding students back from participating because we may have modified their schedule or the way that they're being assessed and graded in a course. So that's why I brought that one forward. This is the first read on all of these, so we will see these again next month for official approval. And between now and then, if you have any questions or want to dig deeper into any of them, we're happy to do so. The grading and class rank, those are not really new. We've just made sure that we have it in writing because it's become even more important with class rank and grading because of some things the state has done. They have made the top 10% of your graduating class get automatic admittance to main campus. We're mainly talking about OSU here. So in the past, our students here at Brexville Broadview Heights had no issues typically making main campus because of the rigor in which that we provide. But now that every high school in the state of Ohio's top 10% have an opportunity to go to main campus, it may become even more difficult for our students who had always made it there. So we needed to make sure that we have some things in place that what happens when we have a tie, how do we break that tie? It has to do with the top 10% and that. And then also the governor gives out a scholarship to the top 5% in a graduating class. And it comes along with a $5,000 scholarship. And we also had to put some parameters in there on how we would rake ties and how we determine fall into those categories. So that's why you see some of this. Many of the times the policy updates are all driven by legislation, and that's what many of these are from, is all the action that's happening in Columbus. So Ava and Brad, I don't know if you have anything else to add or anything you want to talk about, but that's just first read. We'll see it again next month.
Okay. No comments or questions? Okay. Item 8B, resolve to approve 2027-28 and 2028-29 district calendars as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Here we go. We have kindergarten registration dates out in public now. And once we approve this for 27-28, 28-29, it's probably the most important part. Of note, 28-29, we do have an extra non-student day. It will be the Friday before President's Day weekend.
Any comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8C, resolve to approve the high school social studies and elementary school science adoption as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
If you didn't know this, we have a curriculum department, works extremely hard with adoptions, and Dr. Martin is here if anybody would have any questions or would like further insight into the adoptions that are up for approval.
Any comments or questions?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's on there.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8D, resolve to approve the Jefferson County ESC 2026-2027 VLA participation agreement as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
This is just an agreement we have in place for, typically it's if a student has medical needs and needs to be virtual.
Is this for, like, it's like what we use for home instruction, if we put it?
Could be, yes.
Okay,
It's an agreement we've had for many years running now.
okay.
Any comments or questions?
One other one. So I'm assuming, because we use them, that we've not had any, they do a good job for us with reporting and all of that for the students that they're serving.
Yep.
Okay.
Roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8E, resolve to approve the Zen Educate, Inc. agreement as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
This is an agreement, a new company that we're going to give kind of a trial run to. Mr. Wyckoff and I have looked at this, Mr. Yanaglos as well. We have an extremely difficult time filling all of our special ed educational assistants. And when those assistants and those positions aren't filled, it creates issues within the building of coverage and the needs of our students. This company is very similar to Wren Hill, who provides our teaching substitutes, where we will partner with them and they will have a pool of candidates, us and a few other school districts that we can pull from, and hopefully we'll be able to keep those positions filled and keep our buildings running efficiently. So it still is the employee that's coming to sub for us is still getting $13 an hour, but then there is a fee on top of that that goes to Zen for the administration of this and the hiring and background and all that good stuff. So it's something we're going to give a try to, because we're at the point where we need to try to find quality people to come in and work with some of our students that need the most help. So we'll see how it goes for the last few weeks of school, and if it's successful, we'll continue it next year as well.
And this is just for subs?
Correct.
I mean, we'd still go through a process of hiring, noticing and interviewing and hiring
Yep.
people
Yep, they will help
for
fill.
those positions.
Yep, they will help fill those positions. And even if they would provide somebody to us that we really like and would like to hire, there is part of the agreement that there is a finder's fee for Zen, depending on how long they've worked for
Okay.
us and them. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that and have to do a cost-benefit analysis. And the next step for us to help fill some of these positions and some of our other classified substitutes is we will have to take a look at sub rates here soon.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8F, resolve to approve the resolution declaring transportation impractical for the 2025-2026 school year as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
This is for a student going to St. Ignatius, paying in lieu of. Another transportation-related item I'll just throw in here. We had today a timing. We had a family who challenged the fact that we don't transport to Benedictine. And we have a couple of students there. And so we said, no, it's impractical. It's beyond the 30 minutes. The parent challenged it, which means a gentleman from the state comes, gets on the bus, does the run. Remember, St. Ignatius, we had this? Well, this one was in our favor. It was 30 minutes and 52 seconds. Yeah. Once it is deemed not inappropriate, I'm sorry, impractical, it can't be challenged again. So we do not have to pay in lieu of or transport to St. Benedictine.
Forever?
Yep.
Forever.
Just like when we when the timing came under 30 minutes for St. Ignatius, we can no longer challenge it. Once the state comes in and does the test, then it is what it is, unless there's major road changes. with the route. But yep, once it's challenged is done. Their decision is final.
So do we do an initial test, and then we base off of that on which is impractical, and then a parent can challenge, which then brings the state in, and then an official run happens?
And I think it
whatever
was
happens
31
after
minutes,
that.
right?
No, it's 30.
No, I'm saying 31 is what we did first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was going to be tight.
Yeah, it was going to be tight, and, depending on if they caught the light at Mill or getting on the expressway, all those things make a difference. At St. Ignatius that day, they must have just, by the grace of somebody, got right there under 30 minutes. So it's unfortunate. I mean, years ago, when in lieu of payments were $200, and we didn't have enough bus drivers to run our own routes, we couldn't challenge these, we couldn't get timings, because it isn't driving it at night, you have to drive it at the same exact time you would normally drive it. So districts for a long time haven't been able to challenge any of these because they don't have the extra drivers to do so. And it was only $200. Now it's upwards of $650, and we make a sub available to do it. So yeah, so that's news there. I'm sure those
What happens when
parents
there's
probably
major
won't agree.
construction?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What happens when there's major construction that gets?
I think the state takes some of that into account, but, in this instance, it went pretty smoothly. They did it this morning, and we had the letter back from the state by lunch.
Oh, wow.
It moves pretty quickly.
Jefferson County, that is online, like credit recovery. It's
Oh.
not home instruction,
Okay.
instead of like special ed home construction.
Okay.
It's more or less like our students, whether it's credit recovery or they need another online option, that's what it's for.
Okay.
Not necessarily like if a student is hospitalized or for like a certain time, we typically hire staff for that.
Okay.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9, Treasurer's Recommendations. 9A, resolve to accept the lowest bid per the bid tabulation and bid evaluation as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Were there any questions?
So, yeah, I was going to say pull it up.
Yeah.
So all those line items, are those alternates, or what are all the rows across?
Those are the alternates that are down. Across are the different companies.
Right.
So the base bid is the top line, I'm assuming, correct, Brian? And then below those are the different alternates.
Right, and the last line is the grand total for the base.
The
plus
grand
all the
total, plus all the alternates, yeah.
There was alternate, I think it's 5 or 6 that we did not choose to stay within budget.
Okay.
It's the last one, yeah.
Last line on, I can't see it.
It's the 52,000, it's the last one above the total. The 52,000 is the one we did not take. So the total is 103,544.78 from Always.
Okay.
I was like, can you see this? Right, yeah, right there. That's
Any-
the total, that's the one we did not take. So the 103 is this plus all the above.
Right.
And the alternate we didn't take would have been widening the parent pickup at the middle school, widening that into the center preparation for campus master plan. We got it in place.
Okay.
It was a bonus.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9B, resolve to approve the Vasco Sports Contractors LLC contract for the 2026 tennis court improvements project. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So this is just the final contract that's been reviewed from the bid we accepted last month.
So the tennis season will be over May 12th. Then we're giving just under a week for the former contractor to do any testing they would like to do before we begin this process. So David Riley's been involved every step of the way and will continue to be involved every step of the way. So just know that once the season's over on the 12th, it'll be a 3 to 4 day period for them to do testing, and then you'll start to see movement on the tennis courts.
Do we think the prior contractor will do any testing?
I have no idea. They have been radio silent. I wondered if maybe
Probably
the
not.
news this week or a couple of articles and publications might draw some attention and maybe hear from them, but we have not. But all communication is going through our legal representation at this point.
Any comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9C, resolve to approve the disposal of equipment as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so this is just the school bus disposals that we have, which are listed, here for you. So we're continuing to just monitor the fleet size. We obviously are purchasing new buses, and then as they are aging out, we are disposing of the ones we are no longer using.
Any comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9D, resolve to approve the 5K Commercial Roofing LLC contract for the 2026 middle school roof replacement project as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So this is just the contract for the bid we accepted last month? Or no, this is the, yeah, right? No, this is the bid. The bid. Yeah. So this also came in with good pricing. And I think we had a bunch of competitors.
Any comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0.
After we vote.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Item 9E, resolve to approve the resolution below and the associated contract with Amoresco as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so this is the final contract for the LED grant project with Amoresco. It's a total of $597,000, and it'll be $175,000 for the grant reimbursement. And they'll do most of this work over the summer. They might do some stuff into this fall, I believe, if they're not done. But that'll be done in the evenings after school's out.
Any comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 10, closing items. 10A, announcements. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education is scheduled for May 20th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Item 10B, adjournment. Resolve to adjourn the meeting. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes, meeting is adjourned. Have a great evening, everyone. Take care.